In her song Big Yellow Taxi, Joni Mitchell delivered this clarion call. What? That you don't know what you've got till it's gone. While her lyrics mean different things to different people, her message of conservation and preservation remains as relevant as ever. I think of her message, in the context of Wallingford, as a call for those who love and cherish this neighborhood, as I do, to take stock of what we have and advocate for its preservation.
Okay.
Wallyhood.
What?
It's just we're celebrating historic Wallingford.
Historic in that it existed before just now.
Yes, that's precisely
so
right.
It has history.
That is right.
It is a part. It existed in history.
Yeah. So that opening paragraph, which is so fucking funny, comes from a very recent blog post on Wallyhood.org.
What?
Which is it sounds like it's an organization, or at least a group, trying to preserve that culture of Wallingford, the historic district. So they're
the unique culture of like lamp stores that are too big.
Yeah, and empty theaters from.
I had a friend who there used to be a horrible breakfast restaurant there that wasn't very good, so you'd take your parents there when they were in town, called the Rusty Pelican. Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say that shit.
Actually, a good sushi place now, but anyways, beside the point. But it was at the Rusty Pelican with his parents and saw Robin Williams outside the lamp store in 2006 or something. So it is historic.
This is the history we're preserving.
Yes. Robin Williams potentially purchased a lamp at the oversized lamp store.
Yeah,
so
the
celebs were at it at some point in Wallingford.
Paint Robin Williams onto the wall of that building.
Well, and there's the Irish bar there that plays Flogging Molly every St. Patrick's Day, and if you're in there, you should kill yourself. It's awful.
Every Seattle neighborhood, probably like every urban neighborhood in America, has its own plastic patty pub.
We don't. I know it might be called patties too. It's like patio hula hands.
Yeah, they don't need to be preserved.
Yeah, it's comically awful.
So this is obvious. This is some density.
This is about a feasibility study that the Northwest Vernacular, which is apparently a preservation consultant, is undertaking to try to find out.
Sounds made up.
all about Wallingford and what they can protect and what historical significance it may have had to someone somewhere.
People lived there.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I've heard they still do.
Yeah.
The problem is everything that was good in Wallingford is gone. The Erotic Bakery, gone.
Yeah.
Full Moon Temple, stiffest drinks in the U District, gone. And the Rusty Pelican. Where do you take your parents for breakfast now? Nowhere.
There's still a Dick's.
There is still a Dick's.
Yeah, it's part of the dictum.
Yeah, it is. Well, was it Magnolia? Somebody declared Dick's a fucking historic property. So I don't think we're legally allowed to get rid of Dick's now. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, listen. Yes, this neighborhood was built during one of Seattle's main population booms. During the extended craftsman period here in the Northwest. So there's all these old craftsman homes, which the arts and crafts movement, there is something to it. It was about, building quality but affordable homes. That's why they've lasted all this long and why they're still nice looking, a lot of them.
Hey, where there's no
But no one's actually
homes.
calling to tear them all down, for one thing.
Yeah.
That's not what people are worried about. They're worried about the character of the neighborhood being changed by building ugly apartments and townhomes on the high streets.
Yeah, they're afraid of upzoning. So they're afraid that they figured out there's a loophole to having a greater zoning density and that is the historic neighborhood. But the grand irony is that they were these like these affordable craftsman homes that are now wildly unaffordable, which is why they need to be destroyed and turned into apartments that we can all live in.
Yeah,
Jeff's apartments.
Or, I mean, this you get into this. It's a complicated thing, like, because we don't want to, like, it's not about YIMBYism, right? Like, you can't just say, like, tear it all down and build ugly apartments everywhere.
I just said that, Greg.
You did, but I mean, like, there's a reason people don't like that. Like, and the real issue is not, it doesn't actually solve the problem of just opening up development, doesn't solve the basic iniquities of our fucking economic system.
Replace it with like unaffordable condos. It's not gonna be a solution.
Or things like human beings have a dignity that should prevent them from living in, like an apartment. Like, not a solution. So really, all these things need to, like, all these houses need to plummet in value, for one, to something reasonable, and then you're going to need density. But the problem is we don't have any structure for, like, good urban planning in America, much less in the city, for, like, real positive urban planning that can identify, like, actual ways that would be good for all people and classes, There, we just don't have that. So, like, saying, that's why we're stuck between this, like, NIMBYs and YIMBYs, and, like, the in-between would be, like, a whole different economic system and a whole different way of looking at urban planning that just doesn't exist. We don't have that.
Yeah, Seattle Bell Group calls that the missing middle. The architect who just moved to Germany.
Because of this?
Partly, he was exasperated by it, but by city politics. But that was his big commentary, because obviously Europe doesn't have this problem.
Yeah, and
at least Germany doesn't.
Well, in certainly, particularly in the East Coast and in the Midwest, following the Second World War, the United States didn't have this problem either, in that we had a model for this that was called public housing. And our memory of it now is, like, run-down towers that featured in 90s, like, urban crime movies. Yeah, it was featured in, like, all those movies, Trespass being the best of the bunch because it had Ice-T in it. Mm-hmm. But is the villain. But anyways, that's what we picture, but it was actually much more extensive than that, and it had everything from large-scale, like, towers, which existed in urban centers because they realized that urban centers would probably be built up instead of out. And then they also had, in less populated areas, housing that looked like neighborhoods and things like that. And they had levels of it and stuff like that. And we're thinking about things like having, like, mixed income, neighborhoods and all that kind of shit. And it's our complete rejection of any state solution that's pushed this out the window, right? The market has to solve it, right. And it just turns out the market can't solve housing, which is undeniable at this point.
Yeah, go figure.
But where should we put the historical markers in historic Wallingford, though? Dix has got one.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Dix.
The Guild.
Like hell.
But keep it empty, because that's the history. Keep it derelict and empty to preserve the history.
Mm-hmm. Molly Moon's.
The Molly Moon's line. It should just be.
Yeah.
It should
so
actually
the marker's actually 4 blocks down.
It should actually be a statue, like a series of statues of people waiting in line that actually disrupts the line itself.
Yeah. No. You have to give them a place in line.
Yeah.
It's exactly. like the Fremont bus waiters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they should put one at that incredibly creepy painting of it's supposed to be like an Afghani man and woman, I believe.
Oh, and Kabul restaurant.
Yeah, and the guy's eyes are haunting.
Right, no, that's the woman from the like
photo,
1985 National Geographic cover.
Yeah, it has like blue eyes, so like imagine if Afghanis were white. You would care then, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oddly humanizing.
But yeah, that creepy painting should definitely get a because it's upsetting to look at. It's definitely an uncanny valley.
I hope This woman's house gets bulldozed for the ugliest, like a 7-story glass tower.
Well, then she gets knocked down for some like project that goes way over budget, and they just give up right there. Suddenly their house it gets knocked down. But yeah, well, I mean, the funny thing is on 45th, they're already building like a ton of apartments and stuff there. So
Yeah.
I don't understand what they think the difference is going to be. Like that Seattle's going to go into a bunch of millionaires' houses and knock them down. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, like, that's
Ridiculous.
exactly where it...
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like it's already
This
happening.
thing
Like, I
where
don't know what the
you do-
complaint is.
Where you do this blanket upzoning, where then suddenly in the middle of a neighborhood, like, an ugly, like, 6-story apartment building made out of, like, MDF and corrugated tin or something.
Yeah.
Like, in the middle of a neighborhood. It is incongruous. You can see why these people, like, feel like something is wrong here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And because we just don't have that kind of planning, so it's either it's let the market alone or pressure the market into making some non-solutions or something. It's all about the market.
So I'm sure it'll work.
Cool.
As all things are.
I'm sure it'll work great.
Yeah.
What other market solutions do we got?
Well, before we get into more market solutions, welcome back to Seattle Sucks, a podcast about hating the city we love. It's me, Colin. They let me down from the crow's nest. This is the first time this week they allowed me to eat. I had some fresh fish that they caught.
He's been up there yelling, "Land ho! It's right there, asshole!"
Yeah. I have slightly more facial hair. I'm very unkempt. Just sunburned to hell, but still alive. And I'm joined with co-captains Greg and Brian.
I will let you
share
do that.
they share the captainship.
That's true. That's true.
They each get to put a hand on the wheel at the same time.
Well, we're testing that classic saying that if you have two captains, you have no captain. We're trying it out. We're doing mutual aid, collective solutions. We're trying to do praxis.
Oh, okay.
So we're making Twitter happy.
Or we could do like the Alamo, like we were talking about before. We can all be captain. We can all have some officer rank that we're
that we all gave ourselves.
You guys are both captains. I'm the admiral.
Gotta be Captain Admiral.
I don't like the sound of that.
Okay, listen, Commodore.
And before we really get going, too, because we continue to get berated on Twitter about
Do not apologize.
the
How dare you?
of the show. Well, the quality of the recording of this show. Obviously, you're all loving the things we're saying, but we did secure microphones. We had some technical issues, so
Hear the just remorse and apology like dripping from his
all
voice.
I do, man. That's my default mode.
Never give these people any ground.
Yeah, we got microphones, but we went from sounding like we were in a tin can to sound like we were in a toilet. So we're back to the tin can, which Greg was very offended by because we're actually in a fine teak, just like a upscale coffin.
Fiberglass teak lined in beautifully carbon, beautifully. What did I just say? Fuck it.
Fiberglass. Well, so after we're done recording this show, we're going to set sail. Someone's going to light an arrow and launch it into your boat, and we're just going to have a Viking funeral pyre, I think.
That we're all on, yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So welcome back. We have some really great stuff for you today. Brian, you found this one, and it just warmed my heart. It's an absolutely feel-good story. Greg, I don't think you've heard this one yet.
Well, we tend to dabble, I think, in like darker stories. You know, it's easy to get lost in the negative news of the mainstream media, but every once in a while, a little light shines from the darkness.
That is true. That is very true. We are probably pessimists by nature, but
You're correct. I have not read this. I've been working on my engine all week. Because
Not his boat engine, because that's a sail.
as the captain of this vessel,
Yeah,
my
I've been watching you
responsibility
from the
to
crow's nest. You don't have to tell me.
Anybody who's ever been on a boat, a cruise ship, whatever, knows the captain fixes the engine.
God damn you.
I even talked while eating just for that.
You got me there.
Are you just aborting that one?
Greg is just defeated. He just collapsed. He's on the floor.
Look, so at a certain point in a mutiny, you just like get in the longboat and leave, man. Right? Just be happy to have gotten out alive. I'm gonna have you all whipped later, though.
I'm already caged up in that crow's nest, but so we're gonna share some beams of light to you from the Seattle Times. This is an editorial from our good friends at the Seattle Times editorial board. So
Some
inbred
blevins.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen Castle Free?
yeah, seriously.
Oh, holy shit. Can you imagine, like, somebody buys the Seattle Times and there's some fucking Blevin that's in the basement? Or, like, where they print all the papers that they just locked up?
Well, the basement,
Yeah.
basically, if you go to the Seattle Times basement, it's like that movie, The Descent. Right? Like, deeper and deeper. The Blevins are just blind fucking chuds.
Yeah. So this rocks. So I'm going to read the title now. Are you ready for this, Greg?
I'm ready.
Extraordinary Generosity Will Help Homeless Crisis.
I think
I'm already excited.
broadly, I mean, that's true in a sense. It's not how I would frame it, but generosity is not ordinary in our society, so it's going to take some extraordinary generosity, goodwill toward man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and look, all headlines are limited by editorial needs. You want to try and catch the eye, you want to drive the clicks. But it sounds like we're off to a good start here. I like this.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're all going to be on board and no disagreements.
Yeah, we're finally going to agree with the Ed Board.
Yeah.
Plymouth Housing's announcement that donations will enable construction of 800 new supportive housing units promises more potent traction in Seattle's long homelessness crisis. The generosity of Puget Sound corporations and citizens in contributing nearly $50 million toward a $75 million goal for this project, which also requires $250 million in public funding, is awe-inspiring.
What's the project?
Greg, I'm not sensing the awe.
800 units.
It's
They're building
800 new
800 unit
supportive
apartment. Yeah.
housing units.
So this is some developer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plymouth Housing.
look, we're building some housing, right? Some low-income housing. The project has a $300+ million budget. Our corporate overlords, were committed to $75 million. They raised 50, and the city chipped in 250. So this sounds like a victory for the private sector. The private sector has built an amazing, are going to build an amazing public house. I can't wait till Amazon.com/ IMDb housing shows up.
So
The IMDb project shows up.
They've donated this money, no strings attached. Like,
Well, the people that live there will have to donate one child a year to be made into chum for the workers at Amazon.
okay, all right.
So Amazon, and to be clear, Amazon donated as much as $5 million.
Whoa,
Wow.
hey, wow.
Holy shit!
That is amazing. I'm on. It's
Well, let's go
So
on.
we can just
I think we're all on
replicate
board. This is good.
This philanthropic / public, mostly public partnership.
/ 85% public partnership.
If we can just replicate that a millionfold, we can just solve all of society's problems. If there was only a way to streamline this process.
Well, and, private-public partnerships always were like that bad dating advice you would get from a Will Smith movie, and that the public must come 85% of the way before you are willing to lean in just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're nagging us, but
Amazon. Wait, and who's running this thing?
Well, Plymouth Housing is the company that has received this money.
Yeah.
And they will be developing supportive housing units. Amazon, Microsoft, Connie and Steve Ballmer.
Whoa! Connie and Steve?
Can you believe it?
I knew Connie was on board. But Steve, that's a get.
Wincote Foundation Northwest, Swedish Health Services, Primera Blue Cross, and Providence St. Joseph Health each contributed $5 million. Amazing generosity in perhaps Seattle's direst area of need.
So, are they committing to that percentage of the upkeep and administration of this for till the end of time?
Greg, Amazon gave $5 million. Why are you asking more? All right.
Okay, go on.
Yeah,
private companies aren't just picking up 15% of the tab. Amazon's spending 1/100 millionth of its wealth in order to do it.
I see. So this one housing development.
Yes.
Well,
there'll be
800 units.
There could be some additional ones in the outer rings of the Jeffverse, but we're not clear on that yet.
Credit must be given to Plymouth Housing for lining up this series of contributions. The variety of donors who stepped up shows both a success in outreach by the nonprofit and a shared realization that our city needs rejuvenation of a magnitude government alone has failed to provide.
Really?
So the government, who's paying 85% of this,
so
has
they
failed to provide.
750 some of the units.
Yeah. Well, that, and I like that they've stepped up and done this. They only raised 66% of what they meant to.
Right, yeah.
That's failing.
Yeah.
If you were to put a grade on that,
on their outreach,
it would be
their
bad.
Development.
So project number 1, we're already falling 1/3 of the way short.
Yeah, this is not.
I'm sure project 2 is going to go great.
It's also obviously fucking hilarious to hear the Ed Board complain about the government failing to address the problem when they were very outspoken about their hatred of the employee head tax.
Yeah.
And any other attempts to raise revenue to fight this problem.
The Seattle Times Ed Board famously in favor of state-centered solutions.
The 8 new buildings of apartments where chronically homeless people can obtain social services and health care, including one focused specifically on homeless veterans, can be the beachhead in managing homelessness Seattle's leaders have flailed at for years. So this is the beachhead is that opening and Saving Private Ryan. It's D-Day.
Yeah. Well, no, the writer was so pleased with themselves when they were like, homeless veterans, beachhead. I mean the beachhead in that we're going to throw the homeless veterans like at a wall.
Yeah.
And Jeff gets to fire at them.
Every sentence you just keep coming back to the fact that the city's putting in $250 million.
Yeah, the city's paying for the vast majority. Whereas...
So essentially, they could be doing this all on their own, and they're letting some other people participate.
So that they can receive all the credit, which the Seattle editorial board is apparently giving them. By the way, the city paid 100% of their commitment.
Yeah. That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh. Odd. Yeah, it's
a clear sign of the success of private giving.
It is pretty obvious that this is just the PR for these corporations because they tanked the tax, and this is their way of coming to Durkan's table.
It's a real question, though. What would it take for the Seattle Times editorial board to acknowledge that corporate giving has failed?
Well, look at the lengths to which they're taking
they
this
can't.
non-example of success and trying to twist it into anything that says, look, philanthropy works. We don't need taxes.
In paragraph 2, they literally say, oh, by the way, it didn't work.
Right, and this is just one tiny project of a whole society that needs, like, to fund itself.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, look, you know, this 50 million from the richest corporations in the world. Wow, just for this 800 whole units. It's like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Especially when there's estimated 12,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
Just right now.
Almost right now.
At this
in the
moment.
Seattle area.
But people cycle through homelessness, you
right.
know, like into things like death and other vectors, and then there are more people. So once you get someone stably housed, presumably they will stay there for a while. So we continue to generate homeless people who can't take care of themselves.
Well, in 800 units for a homeless population, that number's over 10,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, a drop in the bucket.
That we can't even fully fill.
Also, I am positive we'll release the documents later. Jeff is spending more than $5 million just on like Twitter sock puppets to like to chase after his ex-wife. Who are all just saying, "You go, girl," on her account right now.
Yeah, probably.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Goddamn.
Yeah, this sucks.
This is way better than taxing. Oh, by the way, the head tax, that definitely would have raised less than when we decided they were at 50 million, 40 million.
Yeah.
The head tax would have definitely raised less than that, right? So this is a huge victory.
Oh, yeah. Just gigantic victory. We couldn't have done it without their generosity, Brian. That's the real lesson.
Well, let's hear more. I feel
they got to choose to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they've chosen to do, turns out, very little.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Apparently, when asked, they chose to give less than a tenth
to contribute to the society to the degree to which they benefit from it.
Yeah. Well, let's hear more. I feel the story is maybe turning a corner, though.
Yeah, there's quite a bit more. Seattle stands at the epicenter of both Puget Sound's homeless population and of the resources intended to address it. Yet even since the 2015 proclamation of a civil emergency, official city action has been beset by a series of feckless efforts, including the abortive head tax debacle, perpetual clearouts of ad hoc encampments, and troubled relationships with services contractors.
So, aborted head tax debacle, Seattle Times had nothing to do with that. So
them
I'm glad that they're
doing, like, teabagging in your HUD, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But I love the first sentence that basically says that, Seattle really stands right at the center of Seattle's homelessness crisis. The first sentence was that Seattle is where Seattle's homelessness crisis exists. I mean, it's easy to see how these guys got their jobs. This is
if your sentence
fucking
is
star writing.
logically true, no one can disagree with it.
I mean, does the Pulitzer take write-in submissions, like just as suggestions of people to give it to?
Well, it does say, do you have something to say? So you could give a little kudos to the editor. So.
Oh, yes. I'll be doing that later.
Philanthropy is no panacea for getting everyone experiencing homelessness into better ways of living.
As it turns out.
Weird, but it is a valuable mechanism to move solutions forward.
Turns out not that either.
according to your own article, it's not. And this misses a larger point that philanthropy is this, like, valve that we use to dissipate a call for expropriation, basically. Like, so fuck off.
But wait, where did I... Oh, yeah. I'll read this sentence again. But it is a valuable mechanism to move solutions forward, as well as a key indicator of how much a community cares about an issue. Don't you feel like they really care now?
A community, meaning a
business
community of rich
leaders.
people and the business leaders don't give a shit.
Well, the city apparently cares $250 million worth. Business could be $5 million or $50 million. By the way, again, I mean, I feel like people really, they can really let it fly by them how little $5 million is for it. Like, if you gave a homeless person $1 this year, if you bought one issue of Real Change, you've given more of your income to the homeless than this $5 million donation. Like,
yeah,
it is insultingly low. Mm-hmm. Like, that's real fuck you money. That's real just like, yeah, I'm not fucking doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like Greg said, this is really just about them doing it on their own accord.
Oh, yeah.
Freely.
It's power. It's a power.
Well, the head tax debate, I mean, a lot of people, again, lost the thread and were like, oh, they're going to spend more money fighting the head tax than, the head tax would cost or whatever dumb thing. And it's like, but that's not the issue. The issue is the power, right? Yeah. Who gets to make the choice? And Jeff was very clear. He makes the choices here. We don't.
Right.
And I guess he's right. Right?
And if you were making that argument, that should make you hate them more. Because if they have that much money to piss on democracy, then they have too much money. But anyway, thousands more King County residents than these new apartment buildings can house are badly in need of help to break the cycle of chronic homelessness. But the Plymouth Housing Project can help. Plymouth Housing counts a 94% success rate in getting people out of chronic homelessness. If that holds as the nonprofit almost doubles its capacity in scaling up to serve 2,000 clients, that's really great language you want to hear too. Mm-hmm. You want to hear a client. The results will stand as an accomplishment. The overarching solution to homelessness Seattle longs for remains beyond even this admirable effort.
See, this is all we do in. This is what sort of both your Lib Dems and your right-wing shitheads like these people do in this town, is talk about the small picture shit, either how broken it is and fucked up it is, or what a success it is. And it's like, yeah, this sounds good. The city's building fucking public housing through this nonprofit that supposedly has a, quote, good success rate. Not going to look into it. But, like, that's good. Somebody's doing something. Some money's being spent. Wealth is being redistributed to some people who are on the street, theoretically. But it's a drop in the fucking bucket. Mm-hmm. So you have to look at some bigger fucking picture here. And in that bigger picture, you'll see that not only do these people's money need to just be taken away from them, but that philanthropy is actually bad because it's undemocratic, and it's part of what prevents money from being taken away from those people by force.
Well, and you could easily see this exact same article with some minor changes being written as, city falls far short of resolving housing issue. By the way, corporate donations even more pathetic. Even drier. Yeah. Like, I mean, when you read this is, especially for one of the richest cities in the richest country that's ever existed, an astounding failure. I mean, just colossal.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the several $billion tax revenue that gets pumped into public housing to remake our living economy? Mm-hmm. That's something to get excited about.
Yeah. Well, Greg, the problem is so multi-layered that the necessary treatments present a web of complexity. However, the demonstrated success of supportive housing shows that progress can be achieved.
So it's like they're basically just said what I just said is like if you look at the smallest possible picture, it's detail all the way down. It's granularity as far as you can zoom in. Like, big fucking deal. Like,
Greg.
Also, he just said, Read that sentence again, though. Hang on.
It was beautiful.
The problem is so multi-layered that the necessary treatments present a web of complexity.
So the problem is complex, which makes it complex.
Well, which makes the solution complex.
Well,
Which is also not true.
when you're building housing, it is extremely complicated. There's tile choices, paint colors. You gotta get swatches. You gotta check them against the wall. What kind of door are you gonna get? You want that little window up top? You want the windows on the side? I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough.
That is true.
Do you go with Xfinity or do you go with any of the other ones that don't exist? A lot of tough choices.
Yeah.
Floor toilet or no toilet on the floor? Real question.
Just a hole?
Yeah, exactly. I got a laundry hamper and a toilet hamper right next to it. Yeah.
Unit showers or delousing chamber.
God damn.
Sweet.
So yeah, I mean the city has a lot of complex choices. I love this. Again, this is it. I feel like it's. I want to say it's particular to Seattle, but this really is just neoliberal bullshit of like an excuse to never do anything. It's to pretend like everything is the first time you've ever done it. Like, it's so complicated to build a building that people live in. Nobody's ever done it before. We haven't been doing it for thousands of years. Like, probably before we had any sort of like formal language, people were building housing. So this is not complicated. Actually, it's the simplest thing you can do.
It's the beautiful mind of the centrist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The wonk.
Yeah.
That appreciates the problem. That's what they're doing, really. Is they're marveling at systems.
The Seattle editorial board is just looking. They're like at Home Depot looking at all the paint swatches, and they're like, "It's such a complicated problem. Like, look at all this."
The last century has created the whole like ideological structures designed to make this stuff seem complicated because.
Yeah. In fact, it all has been done before, and lots been written about how to do it right. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So if you don't mystify that, then you're stuck with socialism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, luckily nothing's ever been written about public housing. Definitely don't look into it.
Never existed before.
Yeah.
And never will exist again. If they have anything to say about it.
Could you imagine the editorial board ever, like, walked to the library? They're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sure there was...
It's supposed to be a great city to have all these books.
I'm sure they had a take on the recent levy, too.
Yeah, Jesus.
The cost is steep, and Seattle's housing levy and money from county, state, and federal sources account for the necessary public side of the equation. So is that them also saying we, as property owners, have done our part in paying property tax?
I get, well, who fucking knows? As taxpayers, we've certainly done our part. Like, it seems like we're doing the vast majority of the lifting, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, where does this revenue even, where exactly is the revenue coming from for this? And, I mean, ultimately money's fungible, so it really doesn't fucking matter. But...
No, it's where it's coming from, where taxation is coming from, which is not enough from these corporations.
Yeah. It's coming from the poorest people in the city who are hilariously paying to collectively build like housing that they'll be put in with a million fucking rules, where they'll be treated like fucking prisoners in their own home. And
complete with the delousing chamber I suggested.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it'll have a $50 delousing chamber, but a $5 million camera system to ensure that, like, nobody takes any like placards off the hallway or something. Nobody takes a light bulb out of the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It'll be made with a material that you can just spray down with water, too.
Everything's a drain. Every room's just a drain in the middle.
So this was my favorite paragraph of all, and it's the final one. As Amazon Senior Vice President Jay Carney told the Washington Post...
Already a made-up name.
Ensuring adequate, affordable housing is a government function, not an obligation for a private business.
Holy fuck.
Can you believe that?
Fuck you. Oh my god.
You know what,
The
Mr.
fucking-
Carney? It sounds like you're asking to be taxed. Is
Yeah,
that,
it kind of does sound
is
like
that what you're asking? Weird.
And it should be cool, like, during their part of their, like, head tax debate bullshit, too, was them basically saying, like, charity can cover it. So I love them coming back and be like, what the fuck's the point of charity? Isn't that the state's job? I mean, the fucking balls, dude. The fucking balls have, like, zero fucking accountability ever.
Well, it doesn't take balls. Because they have zero accountability.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're not, like, throwing their balls up on the table and demanding zero accountability. Our system, like, has zero accountability for these people built into it. So they're fucking cowards. They just know they don't have to do anything.
That name was so familiar, man. Do you
No,
know what?
Yeah, he's
The fucking press secretary for Obama. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that fucking name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
What a fucking place.
Yeah.
Fucking, let's just take a second to appreciate the knock-on effects of the Obama administration of Rahm Emanuel in Chicago,
Yeah.
of Jay Carney going to Amazon. I think the guy that's like the fucking head of Uber, like that legal person of Uber, is from fucking the Obama administration. Like, I love they've all gone to like all the most awful it was like he didn't do enough.
Eric Holder.
It was
Eric Holder. Yeah, like he didn't do enough like fucking people in the 2008 recession that he basically was like, no, I'm gonna send it's like a fucking movie, like fucking Lord of the Rings or something. Like, I'm gonna send out my fucking rapes to fucking continue killing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking believable.
The gift that keeps on giving, the Obama administration.
Well, I mean, the real story is how they did it with such style and class, every bit of it, and that's what was, all these people could get, like, super high-profile jobs. Not just, like, into D.C. lobbying, like any shithead would be able to, but, like, these real good jobs. And, yeah, it's because they were loved for it. We loved the Obama administration. That was a very popular president right there.
Mm-hmm. So popular that his vice president's going to lose to a fucking game show host. Yeah. Cool.
The large sum philanthropy exhibited in the housing donations displays a willingness to help a city in crisis.
It literally displays the exact opposite of a fucking idiot.
But this is like, that fucking Chernobyl show has got everybody back on it again on Twitter. But there was always this thing of like, could you believe like that in Pravda in like the 1980s Soviet Union they would be like, there's no lines for food, and then people would like believe it because they're so fucking stupid and all this kind of stuff. And the funny part is that nobody in the Soviet Union ever believed any of that shit. But in the United States, we all believe it. Like, we read this fucking shit that like in the fucking article itself, like it's like openly gaslighting you, and like people are like, yeah, like there's probably like lots of people that read that and like that's a reasonable take. Yeah, like. I definitely didn't hear the contrary 5 seconds ago. Like,
we've talked about this before, but we're so fucking. This might be our like freedom, liberty society of freedom of the press and everything is absolutely maybe the most fucking gullible and most susceptible to propaganda society that ever like inhabited the earth, which 100% explains. Its success as a brutal global empire. We are stupid.
Shockingly so. And I was just having a conversation a couple of days ago at the bar with some friends. We were talking about the latest, not to get off track from Seattle, but like the latest claims of Iranian tanker attacks. It's like, isn't this like the 4th time they've claimed this and been proven wrong immediately? Like, even the countries whose like tankers are like, oh no, that's not what happened. And it's like, my friend was like, or I asked my friend, I was like, man, I wonder like how long they're just gonna keep doing this. My friend's like, well, obviously until we just get like too tired and we're just gonna like, yes, this fake thing that we all know is fake we're just gonna get battered down with it. But
it's a program. It's a cycle because in a year there'll be like offhand New York Times will be offhand citing all these events that were proved wrong in the past, just offhand, like, the details of this and this and this, and a long litany that you're like, yeah, that was bullshit, but they don't cover that, and like, that, it's all just building up. It's all just like a little bit more and more grist for this, like, war machine,
Well, like you just said, it's just, it's eroding your sense of reality as a consumer of this media to reality. It's propaganda.
I think we have no sense of reality. That's the thing. So it's just like works on us so well. Like, we're just dumb.
Yeah, like I remember, I think we may have talked about this off air at one point, but there was this interview there's a historian at the University of Illinois named Bruce Cummings who writes about the Korean War. And he's one of the few American historians that actually spent time in North Korea, like who went to like North Korean archives and stuff like that and got a research visa to North Korea. And somebody had asked him in an interview, I think at the Naval War College, they were like, why are the Korean people like so gullible or whatever, believe all this like dumb shit? And his response is like, well, first off, you understand like most of the stuff you hear about North Korea is like not really true. He's like, also like people don't really believe like a lot of this crazy shit. And he's like, the other thing too is, which he said, and it was like this kind of cryptic statement they could read a lot of different ways, but he basically was like, the average person I meet in Illinois doesn't know any more about what happens in the world than the average North Korean I met. It was this cryptic comment that can be read in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But is, I think, true.
Yeah, the moral of the story is we're stupid.
Yeah. But I think might have been a comment to the questioner, but yeah, I mean, it's truly astonishing. I mean, that would close out an article that began with corporate donors literally gave nothing and couldn't even do that. Like they were asked for nothing and failed at even that modest task.
Yeah, because really this editorial is the article equivalent of a participation trophy for these companies.
Yeah, this is a pizza party.
It is patting them on the back, saying like greatest catch, Jay Carney from Amazon, and like biggest hit, Steve Ballmer.
While Jay Carney is like, listen, I'm just a little kid. You can't expect me to hit a home run, okay? Like,
well, what it really is like a class project. Like we did a group project in class in high school, and somebody in the group did literally all of the work.
Yeah.
And they ask you, hey, they write the paper, they're going to do all the talking, and they ask, hey, during the presentation, just say that, like, the Midwest main export is corn. Like, and they feed you the line, they write it down, they write it on your hand, and all that kind of shit. And then it comes time to give the presentation, and you just run out of the room. Right? Like that's what it is. Like, the city, by paying 85%, was basically like, well, we basically could and probably will fund this whole project, but if you guys want to, like, just put your name on the project, like, at the end to gain some credit. And they couldn't even fucking do that! Like, they fucking failed at that! They asked them to do nothing, and that was too much.
Let's say they could, instead of 8 buildings and 800 units, the city, with this participation, the city was like, okay, we've got this 250, we'll build seven buildings, 700 units.
Yeah.
That would still be this tiny drop in the bucket of what we need. So it's just like, they're just spending the money they have available to do this.
And what they could have said if they had done something like that is, had we been able to raise $75 million as was projected from the employee head tax, which again was their goal, as Brian intimated earlier.
Well, and the head tax is actually going to be more than that, too. I mean, that was the crazy part. I think
initially it was. Yeah. So they could have said, we could have built 100 more units or 150 more units had these companies ponied up.
Well, if we had competent political leadership, right, that would be their message. They would turn around and say, look, we tried the philanthropy thing that Amazon sold all you guys, and they fucked you. And now we're picking up the charge. So how about instead of you paying, a big chunk of this and asking for them to give us some sort of pittance, we just fucking tax the shit out of these fucks, and then we'll have the money to do this.
But, as is, Jenny's going to stand in front of these buildings at some point and cut a ribbon standing next to Jay Carney and other people with, wearing her NASCAR jumpsuit with all the brand names on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, the building will have, a giant Amazon logo on it, and the basement will be a processing center, and, she's literally going to, if this thing ever gets built, the headline of the Seattle Times will be Amazon /Microsoft /corporate sector, housing units get finished, right? Yeah. All the credit will go that way. And, truly fucking astonishing that this happened. And it happens over and over. It's not the first time. It's just fucking unbelievable.
And systematically, nothing has changed here. The fact that we're building public housing at all is maybe, building new public housing. This is maybe is the tiniest real change, even if it's on this tiny scale. That's a good thing, because it is the first step toward building as much public housing as is needed. It is a very small step.
Well, we're kind of reaching this point, the sort of homelessness crisis that we're in is actually new, and that it's from the last 30, 40 years. But there is, in a city, there is a support staff under capitalism of extreme low-wage labor that is required for the city to run. There's nannies that have to be there. There's custodial staff. There's all those things that none of these companies would ever pay any amount of fucking money for, but the companies would fall apart if they didn't fucking exist. And cities are going to have to start making choices about how, as the rich recolonize the city, they're going to have to make a choice about how they're going to keep, their poor support staff around. And probably some sort of public housing will be the answer. It's just how pathetic and how big a fucking disaster is it going to be? And apparently, absolute pathetic. An absolute disaster.
Honestly, if you just made, a 50-lane wide freeway out in, every direction, 16 directions, I think, we'd be fine. Everyone would be able to get to work.
Yeah. Well, and and I think, the fucked up part, right, is we can't tax Amazon anyway, and Mayor Jenny's already seen that future, right, and so her solution is to just tax all the poor support staff coming into the city to work.
Yeah, right.
Which, I think Day got a little bit of shit on Twitter for, pointing this out this week, too, but, yeah, things congestion tolling stuff, that's who you're taking the money from.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're taking
exactly those people.
Yeah, you're taking it from the working class people coming into the city.
Regressive tax.
Yeah.
A major burden on on poor people commuting from the suburbs, which is increasingly going to be the only people who are commuting because just the property values show that alone.
Yeah. The urban wealthy will need to, right? Because they're going to have all their stuff.
Live here.
Yeah, and they'll have all their stuff. And the thing is that it's insanely regressive tax that exists solely to transfer wealth by transferring the burden of running a city that the poor increasingly can't even fucking live in, but transferring the burden of running that city completely onto their backs. So it's this massive wealth transfer to the richest people who've ever fucking existed. And it's truly, we say this all the time, but it really is fucking unbelievable. It's the fact that people, it says how fucked people are in the head from fucking reading the Seattle Times and watching the fucking news and stuff, that they aren't already torching these people's houses, that they aren't already storming the ramparts of the Bezos mansion. It's really nuts. It's crazy. Landlords got killed for a lot less in the past. parody. Satire. Analysis, yes. Historical pointing out of facts.
Praxis? Question mark?
Praxis?
No.
To be fair, nobody knows what praxis means, so that cannot be brought up in a court of law.
It'd be funny though.
Oh God.
That sucks.
Well, there was
Dude,
one more
seriously
sentence.
more.
One
Oh,
more
that's one more
sentence.
sentence. Is it what was the one the boomers had at the end? Was it like
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Is it Carpe diem?
It's the equivalent of Carpe Diem. It's a little butterfly kiss for you. Within a few years, 8 new buildings blended into Seattle neighborhoods will be vibrant evidence of an exemplary giving spirit in Seattle's hour of urgent need.
The question I'm left with: will it blend?
By the way, somebody on the fucking so for people who haven't heard, go listen to whatever episode in the past that talks about where Colin reads his letter to the Times about the golf courses. But I think it was the Times released a study of the Seattle municipal golf courses, and apparently the perfect blend of genders was 17% women.
Oh, hell, yeah, okay.
God damn.
Okay,
That's fucking low.
fair,
Lower than even I would have guessed. I was pretty pessimistic on that.
Bezos Town was saying that, in fact, at Jefferson Park Golf Course,
That gender's a construct, so we can't tell by those numbers.
he's saying that it is actually surprisingly a lot less white and old than you would think. But still.
Well, the problem is,
that letter was still fucking.
If you think that it's 100% white and old, and it's only 95% white and old, you're like, wow, it's less than I would have guessed, but that's not good. It's still not good.
To give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe it is not quite like that, but it still doesn't matter. That letter was fucking
you could have
hilarious.
written it in a better way.
The perfect blend that phrase will never leave my head.
Yeah. Now it's
I will be thinking that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh, got away with words,
blend.
Colin.
Fuck. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's like a Folgers commercial.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but yeah, so we're going to eventually, in theory, have this building that it won't just be Jenny's NASCAR. I feel like the building is going to be a fucking NASCAR jacket of logos, and that will be our response to it, right? So we'll look at it and we'll go, oh, look at the generosity of these corporations, because by then our minds will have been erased. We'll have gone to recall and had our minds fucking melted, and we'll have forgotten that we literally paid for all of this.
No, right? No, because it'll be tasteful. They'll just have brass bricks on the walkway in, or plaques, something, but also on all the fixtures on above your shower nozzle, it says, "This shower provided by funding from Amazon Incorporated," and over your when you open your microwave, it has a little plaque that says whatever Tableau donated this.
Now a San Francisco company.
Yeah, apparently.
Or did they move?
They got bought by Salesforce.
San Francisco treat now. But yeah, would it make... I mean, I would wonder, what it would do to people if, when you walked into a Mariners game at, I don't know what the fuck they call that shit now. T-Mobile Park. If you walked in there and there was just a giant plaque that you had to see as you walked by that literally broke down who paid for the stadium. It was 95% tax money, 1% one-time payment from T-Mobile, and 4% change dropped during games, in the seats during games.
Was Citgo Field the one we voted no on? What I thought we voted no on at least one of the stadiums, and they did anyway. Was it CenturyLink?
Well, the one that probably
It was
because I think the city, and I wasn't here at the time, I think the city consensus, or at least the idea that was sold, was they're going to do another, like, maybe dual stadium or something. Or at least people wanted that, and they're like, nah, fuck that. We're going to make it twice. Because I know that the city voted overwhelmingly no on a new Sonics arena, and apparently, like, they're dead set on giving us one anyways. And, of course, Jenny told us that we weren't going to have to build a new NHL arena, but of course we are.
Well, apparently we're not. Private money is, but still, they're already way behind.
I would like to see the breakdown.
Yeah.
Well, that really sucked. That was complete garbage. It made no sense. I hated it.
Should maybe we talk about another form of affordable housing news going on in the city?
Well, now what would that one be?
Our mayor might have done some polling of the private sector again, and has come up with a new policy to help the homeless by literally taking their homes in the forms of RVs that people live in, and I guess literally just shoving them into the sound.
Oh, okay.
Because if you take somebody's home and you physically destroy it, you send them on the path to home ownership.
Okay. That's wow.
Well, see,
very unorthodox. Very disruptive.
Well, hopefully that won't put them in encampments then, because then we gotta shoo them away there too.
To the Magnolia mindset, like.
So that's our new spin-off podcast, is Magnolia Mindset.
Yeah, to the Magnolia mindset, someone living in a beat-up trailer down on, like,
Government
Holgate
way.
or something.
Government way.
Okay. Is homeless.
Right.
So when you take their trailer, which to, again, the Magnolia mindset is just like a piece of trash they've left around,
It's an eyesore,
and you destroy it, nothing has changed. There was a homeless person who had this trash who was dirtying up the streets. Now there's a homeless person whose trash has been picked up. Nothing's changed in this scenario, okay? Like,
well, it's like a group of British teens in the 70s just walking around at night and seeing a homeless guy in a box and being like, "Oh, I see the problem," and kicking the box away.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. That rules.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, and the funny part about that was just something in the back of my brain was like, I feel like I've heard this RV plan before. And another, favorite of the show, friend of the show.
Yeah. Also a brain genius like Jenny Durkan.
Yeah, Ari Hoffman, who I'm actually starting to believe might not get elected. I was 100% sure he was going to get elected, but it actually seems that his entire constituency is in Bellevue. But Ari Hoffman had sent a letter to the city council basically with a list of demands telling them that they had to do this or else he was going to run a completely ineffectual campaign. And one of which that he really hammered on was this destroy, instead of, I guess before they were impounding RVs and then selling them at auction, and he was convinced that that this was just a scam, I guess, in some way. Somehow the homeless were profiting from this. And that the RV should be destroyed. And I guess Ari calls the shots now because he also wanted the extra patrols, and he got that too. So
no, we must expropriate the wealth from the homeless. That's important.
Well, it is astonishing that, we can ask nothing from Amazon, but the homeless fair game.
Yeah.
Just take whatever.
Yeah, they don't get to have,
you get to take their home, but you can't pay them for it.
Yeah.
Because they have to be punished for something. For parking illegally.
Well, could you imagine if we actually
if
we had a good city council and we had good rules on the books?
The problem is our bad leaders.
Yeah. But could you imagine if we had a law and a law that I 100% support, and I'm going to put that out there, that if your home was $1 million or more, the city could just take it. And you don't get to take anything out of it. You get 30 minutes notice.
Yeah.
And whatever you have that's in there, you better get out in 30 minutes. And also we're going to arrest you too.
Yeah.
And if we see you wandering the neighborhood, we're going to have you arrested. But yeah, the sort of outcry. But apparently, if it's a mobile home, or a RV, so they take their RVs, they take their cars, so then they become campers. and then the people of Magnolia are satisfied because now that they're intense, they're okay with that because of like North Face and REI and shit.
Well, or ideally they can't camp on the side of the road near them, and they've gone somewhere else. That's all they care about. They just don't want to see it.
Yeah,
They don't care about what happens to any of those people. They just don't want to be reminded that problem exists.
And that's the reality, right? That there is, as much as, you have to dress this up because you can't say what you really think because it makes you a monster. Like, they really just want these people gone.
Yeah,
completely. Like, physically gone. Completely. If that means gone from the earth, they're okay with that, too.
Because the funniest thing, and again, almost every time I use funny on this show, it actually means the most disgusting, despicable thing, is that if you talk to Magnolians...
Well, you have a fantastic sense of humor.
The Magnolians that you'll talk to are still acting like the city's doing nothing, that we live in 1978 Times Square and everyone's getting raped and homeless gangs roam the night and
it's the Warriors.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like Brian said, it's like, actually... She's done everything you've asked for the last 2 months.
By the way,
activism works, guys.
The fact that
if you have money.
By the way, not the right.
Not because you're spending it, just the fact of having it.
But also the right is like right about politics in the sense that you should never let any politician think that you're satisfied ever, which is like totally the right way to do so. But the funny part is
their power is essentially adversarial.
Yeah. Well, in Durkan, it's not shocking that she was almost in the Obama administration because this is literally Obama like 101 shit of if I give in to everything that the right wants, they'll stop. Yeah, they'll stop calling me like a Kenyan Muslim socialist, which of course they did. So we know that works, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely if you go to Save Seattle right now, they're not all calling Jenny Durkan like fucking socialist, like fucking eating children.
During most of the Obama administration, there was not like a vocal left to have theoretically had the same response to appeasement. There is now, and there certainly is in this town, and interesting that Lib Dems like Jenny don't have that same instinct toward the left, right? If I just give in to some of their demands, they'll shut the fuck up and go away. Yeah. Have never seen that one. That would be a fresh move.
Yeah. I mean, they're I think... There is a sort of narrative
it's weird
out there.
And inexplicable.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's completely fucked and ridiculous that this seemingly increasingly unpopular individual who's not even in political office yet and most likely won't be is, I guess, just in charge of the mayor's office now. Like, before I used to joke on Twitter all the time that whenever Mayor Jenny would say something, I'd always ask her, did Jeff let you know it's okay? Like,
check with Jeff.
Did you ask him? Yeah, did you check with Jeff?
Check with Jeff policy.
I guess now maybe it's check with Ari, I guess, like, when it comes to more just on-the-ground issues. Like,
they've done a lot of horrible shit in the last few months.
This will lead to homeless people dying.
Well, I gotta say,
that is an absolute fact. Nobody's denying it, and it's
of course
But yeah,
but this hits kind of close to home. I mean, look around you.
On this giant yacht of a billionaire playboy.
Yeah, you're right. This is nothing like a Winnebago. Yes.
Also, all your problems will be over at the end of the show when that arrow flaming down sets fire to us
right
all.
Now,
and we collectively commit suicide.
Valhalla.
Right now, I pay for a parking space, right? But if anything went wrong, really badly wrong, the first thing I would have to do is like shove off and start anchoring off of like Bill Gates' house in Lake Washington, and just they'd sink me in the night.
Hey, Melinda would show up with. Depending on the day, bottled water and yoga pants or whatever.
Class support dog.
Yeah.
Can you believe that some people feel uncomfortable in her house?
Weird.
And by the way, everybody's favorite philanthropist, Bill and Melinda Gates, also, like, real fuckheads, only gave $5 million for that housing development.
Hell yeah.
Fuck them, too.
And again, they didn't even make $75 million, so their own goal.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
we don't have any new patrons.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's...
You guys are so close to giving me a new name, and you failed.
I haven't been spamming our episodes out. I should get back to that.
I think it might be because we didn't post anything for a week, but...
That's true, yeah.
I don't know, but as Brian just said, we're 2 patrons away from being able to name Brian Detective Pikachu Platt, Brian Remember the Alamo Platt.
Yes!
I actually have the Detective Pikachu one. It's actually kind of growing on me, although I 100% am not going to spell it correctly.
Well,
I don't know that I know how.
I was inspired. I think
Detective Placachu?
Oh my
one
God.
of our followers, I think My Cheese Monster maybe is their handle, was saying they wanted to give you a Pokemon name. So
Hell yeah.
Wait, how many do we have to get to?
I think 30 was the
30, yeah.
original.
Okay.
I hope it's
Figure.
Detective Charizard. I don't know. These are things I've heard at work. I don't know.
Detective Mewtwo.
There you go.
Yeah, so tell your friends. Hopefully, like we said earlier, the show will not sound like a tin can, assuming we don't ascend to Valhalla to reunite with our father, Odin. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I saw the Thor movie. I get it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you captains, captains, my captains would like to say?
I don't know, man. The heat's taking it out of me.
I know, it is really fucking hot in here. So, thank you for listening. Please tell your friends to, at least one friend, to come sign up, and we'll rename Brian. We'll baptize him as Detective Pikachu.
We'll christen him. We'll smash a champagne bottle over his head and dedicate him to Poseidon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is it they do on Game of Thrones? They like just sacrifice you to the drown god and just throw you in the fucking water.
Yeah.
It'll be that. So as we close every show by telling our listeners to be better, guys. Do better.
Yeah, be best.
Yeah, be best.
Cool.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.